27 minutes after 7 o'clock, and you are waking up to a foggy, overcast kind of a day. Good morning. This is AM Ocala Live, and the radio station is WOC Head the Source, and we're broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
I'm good. And in the studio, we have Dr. Heidi Maier. Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning. And this is beautiful English weather. This reminds me of being in England. Yes. This is like Mary Poppins weather.
Mary Poppins. Kevin Christian is here. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
He's Jiminy Cricket.
Get your picture on there. Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, I still don't get that. And of course, Adam is here. Adam,
morning.
Oh my gosh, Adam, what's your last name again? Miculin? Miculin. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. Adam is your new host as of Monday. So Robin and I are retiring. We're going to...
Transitioning. You're transitioning.
Well, we actually are. We're not really retiring. We're just retiring from radio. So.
Yeah, we're doing lateral moves.
Yep.
It's lateral.
Yeah,
it is.
Metamorphosis.
I like this. So, good morning, everybody. We got a good show planned. Dr. Maier and Kevin are going to talk about the schools, of course.
Yay!
Which is always fun. And I would play 80s music, but YouTube doesn't like when I do that. They have a hard time. You can't even walk through a crowd anymore if somebody's playing music.
Should I look?
You're playing to the camera.
One or two, maybe.
You can look at the camera now.
Little Wham.
When you look away from me, you can look at the camera.
Little Duran Duran. Oh.
Were you a Duran Duran girl?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that
yes.
guy. You really?
Simon.
You too, Adam? You were...
Me? No.
No, okay.
No.
I was going to say.
I do like the hairdos, though.
Oh, hair metal?
No.
No, the hairdos of Duran.
Oh, I thought you said you were into hair.
No, the Flock of Seagulls, they had the hairdo.
Oh,
That's
my
right,
gosh.
that's right.
You know,
Yeah,
the lead singer, and I don't know his name, but, he lives down in Boca.
How do you know this?
I don't know.
Don't rock stars look weird after they get old? They all look weird once they get old, except for Mick Jagger.
I saw Air Supply. They were at, oh my gosh.
Did you tell him to tuck his shirt in? What's the matter with that guy? He's got to be 60 years old.
And I'm sitting there, and my friend's with me, and we're singing every lyric, and I'm like, how
Let me hear something.
This from the 80s?
Come on.
Oh, and I can't even remember my social security number.
What are you going to do? No, I want you to sing. I want you to sing.
Okay.
I want you to sing.
Sing what?
Air Supply.
No, you'll lose all your listenership. I don't do that.
All right.
Can you
Let me
sing?
just
sing.
We have Kevin sings wonderfully.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, wait.
I was just sitting here thinking I used to have several Air Supply songs in my repertoire.
All right. I didn't even do the introduction.
So
we have to go to the news, Heidi.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. We'll be right back.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi meets with other Democrats this morning to plan a vote sending articles of impeachment to the Senate.
Pelosi has held off on advancing those articles as Senate Democrats pressed for additional witness testimony. The resolution will also name impeachment managers, the lawmakers who serve as prosecutors in the impeachment trial. So far, the Speaker has offered few clues about who she will tap for that high-profile assignment.
Fox's Jared Halpern, a California cybersecurity company, says the Russian military successfully hacked a Ukrainian gas company President Trump asked Ukraine's president to investigate, leading to impeachment.
Hunter Biden, son of Democratic presidential hopeful Joe Biden, had served on the Burisma board. No word yet on what the hackers may have gotten into, but the report says Russia launched a phishing campaign this past fall aimed at stealing login credentials from Burisma employees.
Fox's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
When Allstate agents and employees go to work every day, their number one priority is protecting what matters most to you. For military veterans, that instinct to protect also comes naturally. No wonder thousands of veterans build good careers with Allstate. And now, Allstate is ranked the number one employer on the 2020 Military Friendly Employers list. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For career opportunities or to get a quote, contact Allstate today. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lowe's has the supplies pros like you use most and will even help you save. Get up to 30% off 15 bats, 20 rolls, or 30 bags of select in-stock Owens Corning or John's Manville fiberglass insulation. And save 15% on your next purchase of 10 or more rigid, EMT, and PVC electrical conduit and fittings. Order at Lowe'sForPros.com and pick up in store where our pro loaders will be ready to load you up so you can get back to the job site faster. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid 1/16 to 1/22. Selection varies by location, U.S. only.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A house fire in Citra has left one person dead and a firefighter injured. A district captain came in contact with a live power line. He is expected to be okay. Lawrence Arnold Mayhew has died. Mayhew is credited with founding one of Ocala's favorite burger drive-thrus, Hungry Bear Drive-In, and the Mayhew Pest Control Company. Mayhew was 86 years old. The 24-year-old man who shot several people, killing one at a zombie-themed festival in Fort Myers more than 4 years ago, was sentenced yesterday to 30 years in prison. Florida would require background checks before weapons could be sold at gun shows under a bill unanimously approved by a Senate committee yesterday. Calling preparations for the 2020 census conspicuously deficient, the NAACP is suing the U.S. Census Bureau, demanding more workers in the field. And Awesome Planet, the new film debuting on Friday at the Land Pavilion in Epcot, will be narrated by actor Ty Burrell, Disney revealed yesterday. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Near record-breaking high temperatures today. Very warm with partial sunshine. Morning shower in a few spots. Otherwise, we'll have a mix of clouds near the coast. High today, 80 to 85. For tonight, becoming partly cloudy with a low 60 to 67. Tomorrow, partial sunshine. Another very warm day. Wednesday's high 79 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Jean Powell, past Chamoy. Jean and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you peace, love, and joy in 2020. Now is the perfect time to fence row spray for weed control, rototilling for your winter gardens, and stump grinding. We are family owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Jean, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Jean Powell, past Chamoy. 352-629-2440. Jean is a proud United States veteran.
Enter a world of battling knights, dancing gypsies, and mystifying magicians during the 34th Annual Hogtown Medieval Fair, January 18th and 19th, 26th and 27th, and January 31st through February 2nd. Cheer on royal knights as they joust for their lady's honor, then wander through the marketplace where hundreds of artisans sell their medieval wares. Information at hogtownfair.com. Come one, come all to the Hogtown Medieval Fair, funded in part by Visit Gainesville, Alachua County.
All right, thank you. The Hogtown Fair. Robin, you like the Hogtown Fair. I like the Hogtown Fair.
I love it. I think it's great.
Let's see. Okay, before we do anything, let's be the amateur weatherman. Kevin, you want to do it? 63 right now. That's what
right now. It's a little foggy out and it's overcast, so you don't see the sunshine. But that's going to all clear, and it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. High of about 86.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good. So this is 82 here. So you know what? We had this discussion one day about what jobs could I get away with faking, and I think weatherman is one of them. I could fake it. All I have to do is use other people's information. You didn't even look at the information.
There's a performance factor involved, and you have to operate the clicker and look off screen.
Oh, I could do that.
You have to do all that green screen stuff.
I could fake
my next gig.
I could fake being a meteorologist. You think they would take my word for it?
Well, you know, let's give Tony a call.
Does it pay well? Who's Tony?
Tony Manoffi.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
Give him a call.
The weather. Don't you two have to do traffic, like the traffic?
No, they have traffic reporters now. Separate. Orlando does, yeah.
I don't know.
I could fake
There's
it.
a lot of cars. Don't go that way.
You could not fake being a pilot. Adam is a pilot. Oh my gosh, I couldn't fake doing that.
You sure? I pretty much faked that.
No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Do not get on the plane.
No, I am certified, and that took a lot of money and time and
Expertise
sweat,
and skill.
blood, tears. Yep.
Skill.
Oh,
And he's a mixologist too. Do you like mixed drinks? He's a mixologist, right?
He moonlights as a mixologist.
I like that.
Right?
Mixologist.
Yeah.
It makes me sound like I'm certified for that. All I did was tell me, hey, I'd like sweet vermouth in my bourbon. You got it. Just here, let me make it look good. Let me shake it like Tom Cruise.
So how you guys doing, Kevin and Heidi? How are you?
Doing great.
This is our last time together because Rob and I retired.
Farewell.
In this venue.
On Friday.
No, it is not fair. It is not farewell.
For the radio.
We'll
Well, you're right. We've been toying with the idea of doing a now and then podcast. Just a little not 5 days a week like we do now, but maybe once in a while.
And with your you're going to continue writing your books, correct?
Oh, the children's books are really why we're
Right.
leaving, because we want to be able to spend more time with that.
Well, that might be interesting, too, for you to think of, is to do a podcast based on the books and children's literature. There's a market for that. We can chat.
We've actually toyed with that idea, too. Have you ever gone to our podcast, Storybook Railroad?
I haven't. I don't do podcasts.
Wow, you would like it.
Yeah.
They're 15 minutes long they're all children's stories.
Are they on iTunes? Where do you?
iTunes and iHeartRadio and
Okay.
wherever else what do you call podcasts?
Yeah.
Wherever podcasts are found. So how are you? What's new in the schools? Let's see. School just started again in the new year.
We're back from the break. Yes, students came back last Tuesday.
Anything different this year?
Oh.
As in 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're writing the year out now completely, 2020 instead of 19.
And Heidi, your year everything changes for you this year too, right? No? Don't you have some changes later on this year? Oh no, is that next year?
What?
Your job. I thought you were changing jobs.
Oh. Well.
Am I saying something I wasn't supposed to say?
Oh no, I wasn't following where you were going.
Okay.
With that.
Okay.
But yeah, well.
Okay, but you have a life-changing event this year too, right? We
She's
don't know.
getting married and didn't tell us about it.
Is that
That's
right?
what's happening.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Really?
Didn't know that. So there'll be somebody else. So there'll be somebody else with you in Disney. Do you go by yourself? Is that too personal?
I do. All the time. It is the best.
Why? Why is that the best?
Because you just get to go.
Do you stand in the long lines?
No, I do Fast Pass.
That's what I'd like to be taught how to do.
Oh. We'll have lunch and I'll show you.
All right.
It's awesome.
That'll be
Fast track tutoring.
That'll be our podcast.
Yeah, and I just made my reservation last night for my birthday weekend.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Excellent.
When is your birthday?
April.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've done some really incredible things, and now we've got the
Keeping
Golden
us on
Apple
track.
teachers.
I know, I love Robin.
We have the Golden Apple teachers, and you did the
much
nice
fun.
caravan, and you surprised
That
the
is so much
teachers.
fun. I often say it's the best day of the year, and I know many people agree with that. This is the 30th year for the Golden Apples. Golden Apples are literally golden apples that the Public Education Foundation hands out each year to 5 teachers. Now, Marion County, there's over 3,000 teachers in our school district, and 5 get golden apples.
Do you know the actual award is such a handsome award, right? That golden apple is really a nice looking thing.
It is.
Compare that to the Fooled Us award that Penn and Teller give out, which is a horrible looking award.
The golden apple is very remarkable. And of course, we also have a Rookie Teacher of the Year each year who gets a red apple. And then, of course, they all
the
come
rookie
together.
gets a red one.
The rookie gets a red one. And there's
Do
only
they
one of
know?
them.
Do they know that they're the Rookie Teacher of the Year
They
right
do.
now? Oh,
They
okay.
do, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The 5 Golden Apple recipients, one of them becomes Marion County's Teacher of the Year, and that happens next Friday night, January 24th.
Oh, so we don't know yet.
Do they get any
Correct.
perks, like annual passes to Disney or something?
They got a car.
They get a car?
They got a car from Jenkins Auto Group for 3 years.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
this is, oh my gosh, at least the 5th, 6th, 7th year that Jenkins Auto Group has donated that car.
What kind of criteria goes into the
Oh my gosh, it's a
Especially for
very,
teachers.
very complicated process. The teacher, each school chooses its own Teacher of the Year, and that's voted on by the teachers at each school. Then that teacher has to submit a written portfolio of their experience, their teaching philosophy, their
really?
academic credentials,
Nice.
all those kinds of things. That's on paper. And then a community-based volunteer committee scores all of those portfolios, and that is a job in and of itself, let me tell you, having done that several years.
Yeah.
Then from that, they pare the 52 or so down to 10 to 15 that they interview personally, and then from that, they pare it down to the number that this committee goes into each of their classrooms to personally observe them and their interaction with students and how they teach. And then from that, it's down to 5, and then, of course, from the 5 down to 1.
Yeah. Wow.
And where is it going to be held this year? And if we can't physically be there, you will be broadcasting
It will
live?
be held. It is a black tie ticketed affair, and tickets are available from the foundation office or the foundation website, and it's held at Circle Square Cultural Center on top of the world.
Nice.
And we carry it live on the Marion Education channel, and then also our YouTube channel.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yep. So it's a big deal.
All right. So the first list that you sent to us, first thing on the list is the Francis Marion Military Academy. So let me tell you, our part of this was very small, but I had no idea what was going on. And we had these phone calls from panicking people. And I said, well, what can we do to help? And they started a fund. What was that thing called? GoFundMe. Yeah. And that lasted like a day, I think, before they said, wait a minute, the money's not going to change anything. So they closed it down. Take it from there. What else? What happened over there?
Well, let's, and Kevin will tag team.
Sure.
The timeline isn't exactly as you stated. So on.
Oh, I did something wrong?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I appreciate the opportunity to give the correct timeline. So Monday, December 16th, I was in a meeting with one of our team members, and as I came out, my awesome admin assistant Carolyn says, "Mr. Ayers trying to get a hold of you. He just heard something about Francis Marion." So we call Mr. Ayers over, and he said, "I just heard that they're closing." And so immediately, like that day, this Monday, the 16th of December.
Right.
So we pull a team together. We send them out to see how we can help. So we get a copy of the letter that said they closed. Then that Thursday, which was the
19th.
Thank you. We receive a fax from the new board chair saying we're open.
No.
Right. So, so they're open.
That was left out of the story.
Their charter still exists. Their charter is still open. They are on paper. They are open. So, in that interim between Monday and the end of the week, again, the people that work for our school district are amazing. They went into action to try to not only try, but they did to provide an opportunity for these students, if they wished to come to Marion County Public Schools, to where they could have a leadership type of academy. So, with the military influence. So our folks put a whole idea together in just a few days. And Monday the 23rd, then, our board chair, Reverend Cummings, called an emergency meeting to talk it through. And at that time, it was a daytime meeting, and we went over all the details again, and the opportunity at MTI, Marion Technical Institute, for a leadership academy, a military choice academy, is there. It's just one of many options that we're pleased to help families find to choose the best one for their student. And at the time, at that meeting on the 23rd, it was mentioned by a representative of Francis Marion that they were writing a letter to transfer the JROTC, to transfer the flag, that's the wording, to MTI. We didn't know about that, but we were okay. We were grateful. And so as we continue to wait for this letter to appear, finally, when we get back, I just called the Army myself and had conversations with them. And then again, so proud of the leadership of Reverend Cummings, who was with us every step of the way over the holiday, because our folks worked all holiday break. The public really needs to know how hard these folks work to pull this together for these kids. We come back, we continue to meet. Reverend Cummings called another meeting because we all needed to be at the table together, and that's when we found that the Army transferred the JROTC flag from Francis Marion when they received the letter on the 19th that Francis Marion had closed. So they were under the impression that Francis Marion had closed, even though they didn't.
Oh, wow.
So the JROTC flag has been moved so that the students who chose MTI can still have the JROTC opportunities. We are sharing the flag with Lake Weir High School, so those JROTC instructors will assist with the MTI students until we are able to hire a JROTC instructor specifically for MTI. So we put that request into Army Command as well. And
usually, those students showed up on the MTI campus last Tuesday. We had 116 that first day. Of course, that number's gone up since that time. Some of those students have transitioned back into their regular zone schools. So, we've tried really to accommodate and create opportunities for all of those students. I mean, ultimately, they are our students. They're in our community. So it's in everyone's best interest to create a program that not only affords them great opportunities, but really keeps them together. They're used to being together.
Which was one of their main
academic setting,
concerns.
which the school district has absolutely done. At first it was for juniors and seniors, but that's been expanded now to include 9th through 12th grade.
So the fact that it was still open on paper.
It is still open on paper.
So why didn't they just stay open then?
Financial. The initial letter indicated financial issues, and then the administrator stood before the board last week and told them that they were having issues with their landlord. I guess they hadn't paid their rent, so they were without a physical place as well. So, there's when money is involved, and sometimes it makes the situation very challenging. And so I think that's what happened here.
Wow, well, thank you for clearing it up. There was a lot of that I hadn't heard before.
And one thing that I would clarify is that some people in the public don't understand that the school district and the school board had no say-so in this. I mean,
we had that feeling too.
Yeah, it was. And this was a charter school governed by a board of directors who hold the charter for that school.
I don't know if I can say we understood it, but we had that feeling. Yeah. And Heidi, thank you so much for calling in that day, because you really set it straight to that day, and just so we kind of knew what because we didn't know what was going on.
Well, we were caught as surprised as everybody else. But again, the response from our district staff was just amazing. I sent out Ms. Shafty, who's the director of teaching and learning, and she connected with those teachers. We set up the computer lab the next day and invited them in, and her staff worked with each of the teachers who came to get their application in to make sure that their credentials were to where we could hire them and what to do if they weren't. And
that's wonderful. Very accommodating. And you've got to hear all sides from everyone involved. It cannot just be a one-sided thing. Everybody has to voice.
All right. Well, thank you so much for clearing that up.
Well, and it was just it's an honor to step up again to help, and again, it's not what was, but what we continue to do is to make the best environment within the parameters of public school that we can, and I think we're doing a great job.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you come in here on a monthly basis and kind of fill in the blanks, and just have fun with us. I mean, that's always fun too. But you're the only elected official who does this.
You've mentioned that before, and
it's true.
It's great.
It's true. You're the only elected official.
Yeah, and we've invited everyone. When they come into campaign, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
But when they actually have the office, they have a free forum. Just come to the ring. And I know you do it with more than one station, which I'm really jealous of, by the way.
We may be doing podcasts too soon.
Well, this is really, really wonderful that you have explained it all. And there is a school board meeting tonight, and people are invited to attend that at 5:30.
Always open to the public. Yes.
And now you've got the one that you absolutely love is reading. You are such a huge advocate for reading, and you've got your winter reading challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, the prize patrol rolls later this week.
Fabulous.
Kids elementary level who read thousands of books over winter break. They log in through a platform called Marion, and it keeps track of the number of books they read and the number of minutes that they read. So we're anxious to hand out some nice prizes this Friday morning.
And do they all read online books, or can they actually go to the bookstore, buy a few books, or go to the library and read, and then enter her?
They can read from that Marion collection. I think there's over 6,000 books in that collection. They can read them online, and they can also download them to their personal devices to read them.
So wonderful.
Somebody's buzzing. Who's buzzing?
That's me.
That's you.
And Ocala Health sponsored.
They play a big part. Yeah, their employees actually, I think they don jeans on Friday and pay $1 or so to wear those jeans, and those funds are donated to the school district to help with that project. And they'll be part of the prize patrol.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's such a wonderful thing that you do to actually honor the students who have actually participated in this challenge, because that really instills in them that reading is the best way to go.
And everybody likes prizes.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
what was your favorite children's book when you were little? Do you remember?
Where the Wild Things Are.
It
scared me,
Yes.
but I loved that book because the pictures are kind of scary.
Yeah, they're kind of scary.
But,
yeah.
that was.
Sounds like Adam agrees, right? Was that your book?
What's that?
Was that your childhood book?
I enjoyed the Hardy Boys.
Wow.
We had the, from what I remember in school, was the Accelerated Reader program where we did and then took the quizzes and stuff, and those were worth a value of like 2 points, and we had to have like 20 points by the end of the semester, so I was just cranking those out. One semester though, I procrastinated the heck out of it, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was 20 points. I tried to wrap that up in a month. That didn't go very well. Jules Verne at 5th grade level, that was a little tricky, but no, those are mine. Yeah.
And
even Nancy Drew. Yeah.
Oh, I love Nancy Drew. I had them all.
Yeah.
All of the hard books. But you know what else reading does is that it opens up different career worlds for the students, and you've got that wonderful youth career.
Oh, that is a fun event. That is a fun event. That's coming up in a few weeks, and that's really cool because it puts middle and high schoolers at the same table as local business owners and local employers. And you might say, well, middle school, why middle school? They're too young. Oh, no, they're not. That's when you want kids to start thinking about their careers so that when they get to the high school level, they can take the classes that naturally progress into those careers.
So they actually get jobs in the program?
No. It's like a job fair, but it's for students.
But do they work? I mean, did they get a job from those meetings?
So at the high school level, some of those students do receive part-time. They're offered part-time jobs by some of those employers. Absolutely.
Okay, I don't know if you know this about me, but way long time ago, I worked for the Juvenile Detention Center, and I was called. My title was Community Youth Leader, and I had to work with boys and try to figure out what to do to make them so they, clean up their act, and they're all under 18, of course. And one of the key things I thought was to find them work. Just to get you a job, find you something that makes you feel proud of yourself and what you do. And then I thought to myself, the state is paying me to help them find work. These are kids that broke the law. These are kids that did something wrong. The kids that do nothing wrong at all didn't have anything. But what you're saying, it sounds like the good kids now also have an avenue.
Opportunity. I mean, it really is. Our CTE department and the CEP are part of it. It really is a job fair for students. I mean, it's really quite interesting. And we're not talking about just chit chat at these tables. We're talking about industry-specific vocabulary, depending on where you sit and who the business person is at that table. From banking to filmmaking to medical industry, I mean, you name it, and they've got it represented
Interesting.
there. It's 2 days. Middle schoolers are one day. High schoolers are the other day.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was just say I kind of envied students in high school that already knew what they wanted to do for the rest of their lives. I remember sitting in with the guidance counselor, and that was the conversation when I was 16 years old. What do you want to do for the rest of your life? Well, job-wise, it's like job for the rest of my life, but there were other students that were already thinking career-wise what they wanted to do with the skills and assets of having themselves be decent at math, but knew if they got better at math that there were other opportunities there. So I could see that at a younger age, exploring the ideas. I kind of think of it as if they pick something and they're talking so strong about an industry, like you said, vocabulary, then maybe as they start to do that, they're early enough to realize that's not for them and change where it's not as
I told someone the other day, it's just as important to know what you don't want to do as it is what you do want to do.
Sure. And that was always the pressure that you felt. And of course, too, that comes from family. When you're in your early 20s, everybody's telling you what to do. How come you should go over there and get a job? Grandma, I already did. They're not hiring. And it's interesting for that, considering I've done a plethora of jobs and stuff, but nothing really stood out as a career until I saw myself looking at a hobby that, come to find out, I could actually do for a living, such as aviation and stuff. And I realized that a lot of people that were happy in their lives, they were well-rounded because they had some of the other criteria of education, but a lot of them took advantage of what they enjoyed doing as a hobby and turned it into something monetary. And that's when they decided, hey, this is something for me that I know if I'm doing this, I'm not working a day in my life. I'm enjoying what I do. So yeah, if you can get them to do that at such an early age to start thinking that way, man, that's good.
So does the flight school ever come talk to the kids? Is that part of
the what? I'm sorry.
The flight school, where his other job, the flight school.
They will now.
Yeah, could you imagine talking to the kids?
Yeah, and that was something when I lived and worked in Pensacola at a mom and pop flight school. There, we did
a mom and pop flight school.
Yeah, we associate that term with, like, down here in Florida, there's a lot of Walmart flight schools. Which is like big and warehouse-like, and you're a number, that kind of thing. But going back to what we were doing there is we had it was a program where it was youth in aviation, and truthfully, it was just trying to get them to understand that there's something there that they have valued skills for, just being who they were in those moments. Doing certain classes in high school already geared them up for what you could probably do to get your private certificate. And with that, they actually organized for the first time with Milton High School an adaptive ground school that became an elective, where the students were learning things with weather, with math for the flight, and cross-country planning, with some of the simple basic laws of physics with aerodynamics and stuff like that. And the state actually paid for them to take their FAA written exam. So here we had 16, 17-year-old students that had already taken the FAA written exam, which we have students now that procrastinate that to the bitter end, that these students already had it done. And I think those are the ideas, like you say, at the 5th grade, 6th grade level, that you're starting to have that conversation, I think is phenomenal.
We have students in high school right now who train on flight simulators every day.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
And that leads into the science fair, the annual science fair that you have every year, which I absolutely
You want to
love.
be impressed by some students who've got their acts together. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
My most impressive science project was a volcano.
That truly erupted?
It never did. It never did. Did you ever see the commercial where this girl she's brought a black hole into the science fair? And all these
commercial?
Yeah, it's a commercial. Yeah, all these people from back in time come to the fair, to the science fair.
Little Johnny.
Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, right. That's one of those.
What was it? Little Johnny had a volcano. The other guy had like just a board, and it's like, oh, that Susie invented a wormhole through space.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, shucks.
And that's February 6th. Is the public invited to that?
There is a time during that day, in the middle of the day, where the public is invited to come in and view those projects and talk with those students. Absolutely.
And then you have your 4th annual Superintendent's Literacy Festival, and without
February 29th.
You can't do all this.
Yes, at Citizens Circle in downtown Ocala. Okay. Yeah, come join us.
It's an outdoor event.
It is.
Yes, and you'll have to be there.
So what happens, Heidi? What happens?
Celebrity readers.
You have fun things where schools dress up as characters, book characters.
Everything is about book characters.
Oh, is that the thing we read at?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes, you'll have to be there this year too. And we're going to do the prize patrol for the theme, right?
Yes.
Soon. Yes, we have to organize that. But we had our students design the theme, the logo, the catchphrase for the festival, and we'll be announcing that winner shortly as well. And all the books this year will come off the commissioner's suggested reading list. So.
Nice.
And all of the teachers, they each have a booth that's themed to their particular.
Each school has a booth.
Uh-huh.
Yes, correct.
And so they dress up like the characters.
All different kinds.
Oh,
yes,
that's wonderful.
It's a lot of fun.
And you have games and things for the children.
All kinds of activities for the kids to be involved with. Absolutely.
Heidi, I have a question for you. I know you love Disney. Have you ever? This is a stupid question because I know the answer already, but just for the sake of a conversation.
Okay.
Have you read the actual like the Hans Christian Andersen stories that some of the Disney movies are made out of?
And the Brothers Grimm? Oh,
yeah. Aren't they
absolutely.
amazingly different?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in you put them in historical context, and the Brothers Grimm, they're in the middle of Bavaria, and what is there to do in the 1600s?
Creative liberty.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Well, what you both do is that you enable our community to be involved with all of the students because, Kevin, you always get everything out on media releases and you always make the public aware. So not just the parents and the family members can go see the students, but also other people in our community as well to see how fabulous the public
folks like you
is.
who share that information with the public. So we can't do it without you.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you for explaining about the Marion Military Academy and setting some of those things straight. We did have the phone lines open. Nobody called in. Just so you know, unless there's something messed up with the phone, but I kept my eye on it. Thank you for what you do. We're going to miss doing this with you, but I think you're in good hands with Adam. He's a very well-read guy.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Likewise.
It's a lot of fun.
So thank you.
Very insightful.
Thank you so much. We love both of you. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 9